Hey, welcome back to FINNYBITS. Here's your info fix. Remember the days when you couldn't afford a house? Could have been 30 years ago, 10 years ago, or if you're like me, every year ago. You too are probably feeling so much regret from not buying a house when you were in middle school. Instead, you were just a stupid kid, focused on your math homework when you should have been studying for your real estate license. Anyways, regrets aside, I'm here to explain to you why many young adults have so much trouble affording a house. I stumbled upon this article online, and as a weekly window shopper on Zillow, it made me realize housing prices are freaking insane compared to what people are earning. This made me want to take a deeper dive into why housing feels so expensive, an alternative option I found during this research. Here's a quick TLDR of the video. Pause if you'd like to. So why does housing feel so impossible for the average young adult now? Let's start with popular areas. One reason is simply supply and demand. High demand cities can zone in more residential spaces for more people to live in, but that would just take the place of leisure and other commercial areas, and not that many people want to live in a place with no shops, parks, entertainment, or Costco. Like seriously, you can literally live off some of their deals. In the PBS article, they mentioned that we need to build about 3.8 million more houses to meet demand. Another reason comes from the cost of building a new house. Here's what goes into building a traditional house. This comes out to be an estimated total cost of $361,000. And this is just the cost. If businesses want to make a profit, they sell the house for a much higher price. What also doesn't help is that wages haven't kept up with housing prices. The average price for housing was 2.2 times the average wage in 1950. Now it's 5 times. So that's kind of working 2 jobs and a side gig to catch up to what was the norm back then. If that isn't enough, mortgage rates have increased by nearly double, from 4% in 1950 to around 7% in 2023, with a low of 2.65% in 2021. That basically translates to this. Not so enticing. Unfortunately, this results in many young adults basically choosing to either spend a large chunk of their paycheck to rent a place out, or stay with their parents in hopes that their savings will be useful when housing is more affordable. Although, not all hope is lost if you're super eager to get a place on a budget. Let me introduce you to manufactured housing. So I stumbled upon this type of housing while researching cheaper housing options. I've seen these floating around on Zillow, Redfin, and other housing sites, but honestly, I thought they were a scam because of how cheap they were. Let me explain why it's so cheap. Manufactured housing is much cheaper than traditional homes because traditional homes are fully customizable. Meanwhile, manufactured housing is not. With a traditional home, you buy the land, hire a contractor, tell them the details of your future house, and wait until everything is approved and built. With manufactured housing, most of the customizations are already taken care of. A person or company buys some land, outsources the materials for the house to a factory, and then mass produces the housing elements. Apparently, this cuts down on multiple cost factors since they're mass produced. But why are some manufactured homes so much cheaper than a neighboring traditional home? Like, really cheap. They're basically on the same land. Well, from what I can grab from my very limited research is that typically when you buy a traditional house, you buy the house and the land together. But in manufactured housing, you're just buying the house, not the land. This means you can take the house wherever you want, but you need to find a legal place to put it. This is called a ground lease. You can't just put your newly bought mobile house anywhere, unfortunately. Some people advise against buying manufactured housing because the house usually depreciates while the land appreciates. It's kind of like buying a new car. The asset on top of the land depreciates, while the land itself probably appreciates. But some people still buy manufactured houses because in states like California, where manufactured housing can cost 5 times less than a traditional stick-built house, it sounds like a great investment for the time being. What do you think? Is manufactured housing a good idea? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Thanks for watching FINNYBITS. Stay curious and we'll catch you in the next video.